All right, I'm back to my movement here. I've put some lighter fluid in the jar here, Zippo lighter fluid. Extremely dangerous. Yeah, I'm gonna blow myself up here while I'm cleaning my watch. What I'm gonna do here, I examined the gears on this pocket watch where I fixed that one part, and oh my God, the gears were so bad. They were completely gummed up. So I figured I would take some time and get this watch nice and clean. So what I need to do first is get some finger cots on. Back in a second. So try not to pick any finger cots that have holes in them, but this will let me hold the movement. These ones are old, but I don't care. So this will let me hold the movement and also let me wash the parts as I get in here. And what I do is I put some lighter fluid in there, and then this just gets rid of all of the bad stuff. So go around cleaning the gear itself, and then clean the pinion as well. Get as much gum off those two things, the pivots as well, and then place that on the watch paper. I've got to clean this big massive movement here, this plate. I'm showing you how I do this because why not? So you can use a, let me move this over here a bit. Just use a artist brush here and just wipe it off. I think this artist brush is kind of poopy because it's got some of the little brush hairs are kind of coming off, which is no good. You don't want that, but I'm just going to continue here. Once I've finished cleaning this, I will dry it out, and then I've got myself a capsule here that I need to address. So, but this should do for now, and then I got to clean the holes out with a little bit of pith. So hopefully you're not pissed off watching me do this, but I figured I'd finish this thing off because I've done so much so far on this video. Now this particular, let me just not block that. Get a toothpick to hold this in place. The center wheel, I didn't want to take the center wheel off of this because I was worried about bending the pinion on the end here, and I figured I'd just leave this on. Normally you'd take this off, but as I said before, I don't plan on selling this watch to anybody, and I just want to make sure the gears and the pinion have got all the gum out of them. So after I wash them off like this, I also take some Rodico and then rub the gears with the Rodico, so I don't have any issues with those gears having any material stuck in the teeth. So when I showed you that previous video, I had cleaned the gears and there was tons of crud in the teeth. And what I do is I put the toothpick into one of the spokes here, between the spokes, and then I use this very lightly, brushing the part. It may spin around a bit, but it's no big deal. And I just want to get most of the crap out of the pinion. And this is the seconds wheel here, which is the third wheel, maybe. 1, 2, 3, fourth wheel. Seconds wheel is the fourth wheel. And that goes, I like to keep plates and screws together, but that's the second wheel and that's the screw for it. But I'll leave that here for now. And I'm going to go grab, I'm not going to clean the balance for now because I'm not sure what that'll do. So I've got these 3 wheels and the plate done. I'm also going to leave the mainspring alone for now because I want to see how well this thing runs without buggering it up. So it's I'm going to clean this bridge. And flip that over. like so, and then clean the other side of the bridge, and then I'm gonna put this bridge right here. I put the bridge here with the bridge screw, and get a piece of watch paper over here so I can maybe gather the bridges and screws here. Some of these screws are of different lengths, so I don't want to mix them up. This bridge is for the escapement. It actually has a little jewel in it, which is kind of cool, and the bottom part of that bridge also has a jewel in it. That's why the escapement runs so smoothly. And it's a very small jewel. It looks like it's burnished in. It's a very small burnishing though. It's not something you'd want to have to replace, but it is replaceable, so I can do it. I have the skills. Where did I put that? There it is there. And let me just grab the escapement here. And this escapement has some odd teeth. It's an old Swiss watch, and it's not your atypical pallet fork with an escapement. This thing does not have a pallet fork. This the teeth on the escapement go right to the balance staff and to the there's a plate, or there's a roller table, I'll call it a roller table, on the balance configured for these teeth. They're strange looking teeth. I should show you the teeth if I could zoom in up close. Let me just see if I can show you these teeth and just keep this video going while I do this. Turns out I can zoom while this and focus while the video is still playing, so let me see if I can do that. So there's the teeth on this. That's very strange, right? Can I focus anymore? I can. Look at that focus. Holy smolies. So there's the teeth right there on this, and they interact directly with the escapement. Sorry, this is the escapement. They interact directly with the pallet. Sorry again. They interact with the balance staff and the whatever that device is on the base of that balance staff that we might want to call the roller table. What I'm going to do is, since I got that right here, I'll drop that and I'll pick up, if I can pick the balance up for a second and get a close-up of that without dropping the balance to the ground, that would be nice, right? So let me just move that up and see if I can get a close-up of that. There it is there. So that's the roller table. That's what the roller table would look like. So that's pretty close. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a fairly unique looking device. So I'm going to put this baby back before I drop it. And I think I need to zoom out again. There we go. That zoomed at, I think I zoomed it at 17 or something. I gotta get rid of one of these lights. It's in the way. Alright, there we go. Now, so pretty much washed these parts. While I got the bath going, I might as well throw in some more stuff into the bath. I do have another bridge here that I'll throw in too with the screw. There's a bridge and a screw, and I think I'll use my tweezers this time to hold these in place. And there's no jewels on these bridges, so it's these are just brass. So I got my PGA golf voice happening right now. So it's talk lightly, don't talk too loud, don't talk with too much excitement. That's the seconds wheel. This is the hour wheel, and it's got a the hour wheel's got a leaf on it to keep the face away. So that's pretty common. I'm just gonna put those aside here. And this is called hand cleaning a pocket watch. Just drop that wheel down here on the piece of paper, and this is watchmaker's paper. This stuff works really well. Now I don't want to screw this leaf up either. I might, but I don't want to. So just ride it up the side with my toothpick until I can catch it, and then just put her down. Put her down. Put her down. There we go. Come on, down there. Alright, it jumped in with the friggin' fluid. Friggin'. Someone told me, I think it was my wife actually, she said, when you do your videos you say friggin' way too friggin' much. So I shouldn't be doing that. I think I'll clean this as well, because everything should go into the bath. Everything should go into the bath. Might as well make most use of this. Most use. I'm making this video just so I can see if this thing will actually run again once I put it all together. So I'm going to put this down here and then grab, I think there's some very small screws. Oh, this one was missing a screw, if I recall. So I'll put the world's smallest screw next to that. And I might as well clean the cannon pinion while I'm in the cleaning mode, even though it could take a while to dry, this little bugger. I'll just clear the gears on it. There we go. I can set that down anywhere. Not there. Anywhere else. There we go. And I don't want to do the barrel right now. I want to see if that, because I can always take the barrel off and clean it. I'm just very worried about the configuration of that barrel, because it's not something I'm used to. And I think if the watch works, I may not touch the barrel. If it works well, I might not touch the barrel. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be forced to take the mainspring out of that barrel. I really should clean it, but I really want to see if this thing will actually work fine without cleaning it, because it looks like something that's going to go bing and come apart on me, and then I'll go, oh my god, another watch I'll use for sacrifice watch I'll use for parts. I don't want to turn this into a parts watch. I want to actually fix the darn thing. So I did some I did a little bit of research on how to fix a hinge on a pocket watch, and you need to be able to weld and all kinds of other stuff. So I may go down that road. It's hard to say, because I do have some cases that are broken, and I want to make sure that I can fix those cases. And I hate to leave a case not in excellent condition. So usually when I put the parts down like this, I actually move them around too, which dries them up faster. Sometime, if you're brave, you can take out your blower. Let me just show you what I got here. One of these blowers here, and you can just very lightly blow on the parts. See that screw jumped around? If I blow on this part, it'll dry up in like a few seconds. So I'm not too worried about these parts, because I'm going to be putting those in after I get the watch movement going. So I am worried about this part, so I can blow the crap out of this part and dry that off faster, and then take this part and dry this off faster. I'm going to move it over here so I don't blow everything off the table or the bench. There we go. So I bet you the escapement is dry by now. I'm going to blow the bridge here. Blow the bridge! Jerry, blow the bridge. Go like that. And then I think that's pretty much going to take the crap off of this too. Just move this over so you can see, and just blow the lighter fluid off of this. Now, I should probably have a mask on, but because I don't breathe in lighter fluid 24/7, I'm not too concerned. I'm going to examine the teeth on these gears as well in a few seconds, just to make sure I don't have any leftover teeth problem. It's funny, this movement here, this part of the movement, it's got some stuff back here that doesn't look like it's for anything. I can't really figure it out. Maybe the bridge goes into it or something. I think it does, maybe. I think on this side, the bridge goes into these holes right here. Or does it? Hard to say, because it's kind of odd. I think it goes into these holes. Anyway, so the only thing I have here is I should take the cap jewel off. I could take the time though to just very lightly, if I can, brush the case in this. I think that'll get some of the crud off it, and if there is any crud on there, might use the rest of the lighter fluid before it evaporates. So now some people use this lighter fluid and then they immediately go into use some alcohol right after, and I was reading somewhere and they basically were saying don't bother. So I haven't done that. I basically use the lighter fluid, and I don't think I need to clean any of this. It looks fine. So I use the lighter fluid and I don't bother using any alcohol after to counteract that, and I've never had an issue. So that is a good thing. It should be a good thing anyway. So what I got here is I've got the jewel here. So what I like to do is line this up in the movement holder, and I got to line it up so when I put pressure on this, I'm not moving anything. But when I put downward pressure on this little screw here, it doesn't cause me additional issues, right? So I'm going to take these finger cots off now, even though I probably shouldn't. And again, if you're fixing somebody's watch or you're doing some really detailed watch, it's not an old movement like this, and you're trying to show stuff, you should always have finger cots on, which I do when I'm working on someone's watch, but I don't care about this one. So in this case, I've got this world's smallest thing here, so I'm going to see if I can just zoom in on this at an angle, and then you can see me take it apart and clean it. So let me just zoom away here like that, like so, and so that's pretty good. And then I got to go in close, and then I'm taking this screw off, and then I'm going to clean the cap on this, and still maintaining my PGA golf course voice. So I'm just going to loosen the screw. That didn't work. And it's my advice is when you're loosening these screws is to hold down, put some pressure, downward pressure on it, so you don't screw up the there we go. So I was able to take the whole thing off, like to remove the whole screw. I think I need some more light here. There we go. I don't want to ruin the focus, so there's the cap jewel on that, and there's the jewel itself that's burnished in. And what I usually do is I take the back end of my piece of wood here, and I look at it very closely, and I kind of just get rid of the gum there. It's already been washed, but I can look at it and just remove any gum that's on the top, and then hold this down. And I do not want this to fly, because it has wings. It will fly, and get rid of any residual oil on the top of this, and that's perfect. And then when I replace it, which I'm going to do, I have to make sure there's a little blob of oil on the top of the cap, and I'll flip it back over and put it in. And again, like I said in another video, if you remove the oiler fast, you end up with a big blob in the oiler. If you move it slowly, really slowly, you end up with very little oil on the end. So it's kind of halfway between fast and slow, depending on the size of the jewel you're going to oil. And you just put a little tiny bit on the top, like I just did. And that was perfect. Perfect. It's kind of like Donald Trump, I guess. Well, the call was perfect. And I make no political suggestions or affiliations with my videos, so frankly don't care what people vote for. Humans will continue to vote as long as there's humans. So I'll just throw that on like that. And then I've got the world's smallest screw I got to put in place here. Like so. And then tighten that in. Always a good idea to hold this down while you're tightening it. And then it should be fine. I think I got to get another screwdriver. Again, I don't want to talk too close because I think the camera is sort of right on top of us right now. And just put a little bit of je ne sais quoi on this, and that'll tighten it up nicely. I think that's tight enough. There we go. So that's clean and tight. Now I did this earlier, so what I did earlier, I don't think I need to do it again, but I took my piece of wood here and I sharpened the end of it, and then this is a piece of wood right here, and what I do is I sharpen the end of this wood and then I twist it into the jewel hole, and that just cleans everything, right? So let me just back this camera off a bit and get ready for reassembly, right? I might zoom in for reassembly, but I definitely have to get the camera out of the way. So camera, the light should be fine there, but I've got to adjust the zoom here so you guys can see what's going on. I could put this right on top, but my head's going to get in the way. So there's all the pieces. I'm going to try to reassemble this, see if I can remember how. I think the first thing I need to reassemble here, I believe, is the escapement. And the escapement goes up, diddy up, like so. Now if you recall, I already oiled this here, so we're good. So I just put that in place right there. It should fall into the hole, hopefully. I don't have any stories to tell while I'm doing this. Roses are red, violets are blue. Fresh out of stories. How about you? And then the next thing that has to go in is this bridge here. So I believe I'm going to have a look at my watch because I think there's some stuff that has to go down before the bridges, but got to put the lower ones in first, and that way the upper ones have no issue. So I think this one is this bridge here. I don't think it's the seconds one. I'm not sure, but I'll check and see. I think this one goes in next. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I'll know when I try to put it in right now if I'm wrong or not. You know what? I remember earlier I had to put the escapement in after I put that bridge in. So I got to take this escapement out and then see if that fits. I don't think that is the right one. I think it's the other one. It might be the seconds bridge. Oh my God, I'm wrong. Yeah, it might be this one here. Doesn't make any sense. I think I'm missing one. Let me look and see. Everything's here. Get rid of this key. Everything's here. I don't think it's this one because this little tiny nubby bridge that's got to go over the top. So it's got to be this one. Just doing it wrong. Yeah, this has got to be this one. But I don't think it goes down. Maybe it does go down. It has to go like this. It's not going in there. It's going in here. That's nice. Then this one would be going like that. But I'm telling you, oh, I know what it is. The other bridge goes on there. So yeah, this one goes in like that. Let me move this one out of the way. Like I said in my other videos, you get to watch all the screw ups. So this is the seconds hand, and that'll just fall into place hopefully. When you're putting together the watches, do not force any parts. Hold your tweezers lightly. Do not pull any triggers before you need to. Just try to find the hole here. If I put my goggles on and look closer, I could probably stop friggin' with this thing. There we go. That's that. And then I have this to put on over here, like so. And if I recall, this bridge goes on after there, like that. And then the escapement goes on now over this, like so. Like that. And then this bridge, which I have to find the family for, the family member. This bridge just settles on the top like this. So you got to talk like a golfer here. I should get in really close with this camera, because it'd be pretty cool, I think, if you just, and I'll do it at an angle. That way you can watch watch as I try to put this stuff back together. And let me focus this again. That's fairly focused. We apply that, hit OK. This is my video software. Hit OK. I can even zoom in like this now. And put that in the center, left, right, up, down. There we go. That's in the center. Hopefully that's zoomed in enough. I'm hoping that the quality is there of the close-up. I'm going to try again here just to make sure I get good quality close-up. Hit automatic focus. I think the manual focus works better. I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good enough for government work. Alright, so I've got these two in now, and now I've got to put the bridge on. So I'm going to be very careful here as I put the bridge on. And I'll oil that later. So that bridge goes on right like this. And it's a bit tricky, but I think it'll just fall into place, perhaps. There we go. There we go. And then once I put this bridge on, I'll put a screw on there. And I will not tighten that screw until I'm sure the pivot on the top is showing through. So again, I'm going to have to apologize as I videotape these things and try to do the work at the same time. I would normally be closer up and have goggles on and all kinds of other crap. So, but in this case, nah, I don't. And so I'm basically pretty far away from the movement right now, so I can videotape it. So I won't tighten this unless I know everything is moving really well here. And I can see the pivot through the hole on the top here, right here. So I'll look at that later and see if that's good. So that's the one. And then I will have to put the bridge on for this one here, and I'm not sure which bridge it is, but I'll have a look at this and see if it's this bridge. It really depends on the angle. So if I put this on like that, then that's way too far away. So it's not that bridge. It's got to be this bridge. It's got to be this bridge. This bridge has got some distance on it. I think it's this bridge. Like maybe it's not this bridge either. Maybe this goes on here. Let me see. Yeah, darn it. That's the wrong bridge. That goes on there. And I actually can't put this bridge on yet because I know that the barrel bridge has to go in first. And it won't work with that bridge on. So I have to take that off, put the barrel bridge on, and then put that back on again. So, and I got to make sure I see the pivots through the end before I tighten these things down, because it's way too easy to break a pivot, and I do not want to have to redo anything here. So I just put a little bit of pressure on that. I got very little pressure on that. And then I know I got to take this bridge off. So, because the barrel bridge won't go on with this bridge on. And I want to put the barrel, I'll call it the barrel bridge, but the barrel bridge, actually the center wheel bridge is what I'm talking about. I keep talking barrel bridge. What the heck am I talking about? Now I should have had a quick look at the pivots or the pinions on these things, because I did have issues before, but I think they're all gone now. Yeah, this thing is pretty straight. Yeah, this looks like weird. Doesn't look straight. Looks like it's had years and years of somebody working on it. So if I drop this in first, right, if I drop this in first like that, and then, and I'll just, again, very lightly put a couple screws in there. I know I've got them lined up left and right, because I think they are the different sizes. Like this one here goes here, and then this one here goes here. This is about as close up as you're ever going to get for this. I may not even be able to put this screw on without moving everything over. Yeah, I had to move it. Again. Okay, I go like that. I'm not too worried about this, because this will go in nicely. Just sort of make sure that the gears are meshing right here. So put that down, move the watch over again, screw that in, and then make sure the gears are meshing properly here, which I think they are. Screw this down, and again, I'm not tightening any of this stuff. Just go like that, and then I can put this bridge back on. Sure, just throw it at the movement. Throw the bridge at the movement. Who will care? Who will care? And this is a video, so you got to have some audio. So I think the last time I told everybody that Canada was being blamed for the movement of the magnetic north. I just wanted to get some people's reaction, because if Canada moved the magnetic north, the first thing we would say to the world is sorry, because we say sorry for everything. So we would basically say, I'm sorry that I moved the magnetic north. I'll never do it again. I promise. Now the big question here is, this is my barrel. Can I slide that in? I don't know. Maybe I can. Let's see. Looky, looky. I think I can slide it in. If I can, I got to take this friggin' bridge off again. You know what? I think I got to loosen the bridge, because I don't think I can slide that in. I was hoping I could slide that in. That is not slide-inable. I think this is the only time I've ever worked on this type of watch movement, so I got an excuse. My screwdriver is the wrong size here. As you watch me loosen that screw up and go, what the hell is he doing? He's using the wrong size screwdriver. Jeez. And then I just loosen that up a bit. And I might be able to take this and slide it in now, because the thing will lift up a bit. There we go. It's officially slid in. And then I will put this screw back in. Grab that and turn that around. Put that back in. And where's the other screw? Oh, no, it didn't go there. Who put that there? There it is there. And then I will look at these two screws here, and I think, I can't remember, one of them is bigger than the other, maybe. I'm hoping these are the screws for the barrel. I wish watch manufacturers would make all screws exactly the same size. There we go. We get that thing centered. So I'm gonna put the screw in for the barrel here. Very poorly. Just drop that down here. I get a feeling these are the wrong screws. Why do I think that is wrong screws? Well, I'll know pretty quickly as I try to screw it in. It doesn't work. So let me just screw this down here. I should have grabbed a bigger screwdriver. Stupid, stupid, stupid. And I'll screw this one down here. See if that screws down. Yeah, I just hit the camera with my hand. Screw this one down here. And then I still have to examine. Screw this one down here. I still have to examine the the holes for the pivots on this here, so I don't have any major problems. Because I think there's some of them are missing the holes. So what I'm going to do is have a quick look at this, pause the video for a second, and then come back. Alright, I'm back. So what I did is I checked all this, I looked for the holes, and then I just put a little bit of movement on the mainspring here. I just click this thing over a couple clicks like that, and there we go. So that moves nicely. And just to be a good guy here, I'm gonna have to put a little tiny bit of oil on each of these. So they're all very small, so I'm gonna use very light oil, the 9010 oil, because they don't look like big wheels, as they say. And again, if you pull the oiler out fast, you get a ton of oil. You pull it out slow, you get a little tiny bit of oil. There, this one had a jewel in it, so, and then I think this is where the escapement is on the bottom. I'm going to put just a bit of oil down there because I'm not sure. There we go. So that's a thing of beauty. I still have to oil here and the other side and stuff. So, but that's I got some, turn it the right way like that. I got some nice movement here, right? If I flip this around, have a look at this side here, I should put just a bit of, clean that off, put a bit of the thicker oil in the bottom of the mainspring. There we go, that's good enough. And I'm not sure whether there's some openings here, I think maybe for oiling. Gonna use them anyway. What the hell, eh? I said hell, I should have said heck. What the heck, eh? It actually looks like there's a hole here used for oiling as well. Not quite sure, but I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it, Jerry. So that's that. Oh, I'm gonna do one more oiling here. I'm gonna oil the center wheel, where the shaft comes through the hole here. Just put a little tiny bit of oil there to make sure I've got reduced friction, and then pop that down, clean off my oiler, move the oil out of the way. See, everything is like, oh my god, this is like playboy, play something. I think I said playboy. Didn't mean that. I take that back. I looked at the people that watch my video when I went on YouTube. I said, okay, what's the demographic of my video viewing? I said, so most people watching my videos are between the ages of 45 and 65. So that's the demographic, which is the Department of Old People. Oh my god, I'm gonna very carefully put this balance back in. This is like tricky as hell. Last thing I need is to screw the balance up. So I think I gotta put it under the leaf here. Hopefully I don't have a problem. No, I don't. So I will put this in place. I'm gonna try to find the holes. There it is. And then I want to make sure this thing moves. So what I'm gonna do is put the screw down for the balance here, and then just play with it until it's in the proper position. Again, I don't want to screw this down hard at all until I'm 100% sure the balance is is moving. So that's not bad. What I'd like to do is put a little power on the mainspring and get that balance moving a bit. And this is my new mainspring with the click. So this is just a minute piece of power on the mainspring here, like that. And the balance is moving ever so slightly now. And so I will take the opportunity as this balance moves back and forth to screw this down. And if it stops, I stop screwing. So that seems to be, that's tight. So that seems to be working. Let me just flip this around so you can see it. There it is there. And I'm going to see if I got any teeth problems, because I did wash those. I washed all the teeth, and I don't think I have any grime to pick out of there, so I'm going to just, that's my new click spring here, so I'm going to just turn this a few times, and hopefully this will work. There we go. So that there is my new click spring, as I showed you earlier, and it's holding, so that's pretty nice actually. The balance doesn't have a huge swing on it, so maybe I do need to do some work on the mainspring here, but for now I'm just going to watch it for a second, see if it stops, because before it stopped, but when I looked at the wheels, I think it was the 1, 2, 3, 4th wheel, the one that pushes the escapement, that the teeth on the escapement were fine, but the wheel, oh my god, it had tons of gum on it. And I think, because it's a 60-second one, if this thing runs and it stops at exactly 60 seconds and then you're able to push it beyond that point, that means there's something wrong with one of the teeth hitting the escapement. And this would be the 1 hour one, so if this goes all the way around for 1 hour and stops, and there's something wrong with the teeth on this, and that's an intermediate wheel, and I can't remember how many seconds or minute, that might be the minute wheel, but I can't remember what the how long it takes for that wheel to come around. Might be a minute. So the other thing I got to do that I didn't do yet is put a little bit of this oil here, this stuff here. It's Mobius 9415. I actually have to dab a little tiny bit of Mobius 9415 on the escapement. That kind of lubricates the escapement, so it slips, it lets go, and it slips at exactly the right time. So what I do there, I just clean off the back of this, and the thing is still running, which is great, is I get in the edge here, and I use my thumbs ever so lightly, and I stop the watch, and then I put a little tiny bit on one of the feet, stop the watch, put some on the feet. I've only had to dip it once and stop the watch, and put some on the feet. There we go. So, and I found before that'll spread that lubricant beyond those feet to, and if someone can correct me, it's not a roller table with an impulse tool, it's kind of a metal on metal thing, but that'll lubricate that a whole lot better, and that'll spread that to that part of the watch, which will give it some it'll give it something to grab onto. And then what I'll do is, while we're letting that thing run, it's still running, which is great, which means it was the gears that were clogging the thing up, right? So what I want to do is put this cap on here. I should lubricate this here where the cap goes by, where I wind it, because it will get it. I need as least amount of friction as possible. So I'm going to put a little tiny bit of lubrication on that. Get my thumb in here and open this up. And I would typically put this stuff on there because it's a little bit gummier, but I'm not sure. I'll put this oil on here. I just need a tiny bit of oil on here. And that will pass the oil to other parts of the watch without a problem. And I'll put a little bit more on, and I'll put it on the other side. There we go. So that'll pass that to the other parts of the watch. And then I want to, I don't really need to oil the wall where the key is, I don't think. But I will now take a little Rodico here and then clean this up a bit. And the watch is still running, thank God, which is good news. Put a little bit of, just clean the top of the barrel off a bit. Usually I rub even after I clean the components, I usually take my Rodico and I use that to clean parts of the watch. So it's actually running pretty good. It doesn't have a huge amplitude, but it is from the 1800s. So I think if I was from the 1800s, I wouldn't have much of an amplitude either. My amplitude would personally be very low. So I think some people might say my amplitude is very low now. Again, I keep picking on my wife, but if I asked her, she'd say you definitely have a low amplitude. I should have gone to the gym today and worked out, but I decided not to because we had the grandchildren last night, and I am friggin' pooped. There, see, I said friggin' again. I gotta say friggin' at least 10 times a day. These screws, I think I need to hold this in place because it's not going to work the way I'm doing it. I'm going to use my Rodico to hold it in place while I'm screwing the screw in because it's just tough. Where is that screw hole? Basically can't find the screw hole. Oh, found it. That's one. I'm going to make you watch this. You can fast forward, you know. I don't want you to, but you can if you really want to. If you get bored, crapless. See how I keep the videos nice and clean so that the youth of today can watch these videos? Because I'm sure if I use the S word or the P word or the F word, that YouTube will say, hey, it's a filthy guy, take his videos off. But I don't. So there you go. Anyway, I put this on just like this, one at a time. I do corner, that way I got a grip on it, and it's aligned properly, and this just protects the winding stem on the top because this is a key wound watch. So I think that's all that's in. Try to tighten it when it's not in. Smart SMRT. SMRT, that's a Homer Simpson thing, I think. SMRT. So we call that the Alrighty Then song in our family. For Christmas, it's alrighty then, 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 alrighty then. Please subscribe to my singing, it's bad. Alright, get the screw in here. Alright, that's in there. That one is relatively tight. This one is tight, and this one I think it wasn't tightened yet, but now it's tight. So those are good. Why do I have this feeling I'm going to forget something? But so this has to go on as well, like that. And then the world's smallest screw, but there's one missing on this, so I'm going to have to find a screw for this. Because right now I don't have one. And I'm not sure if I can just drop this in. This is going to be really tough to put in. It's the world's smallest screw going into the world's smallest hole. So I'm going to grab it right on the end and see if I can. I may have to put this in with Rodico, which I've done before. So I'm going to use the Rodico technique. Okay, watch this. This is amazing technique. This is where I catch the screw with some Rodico, and then I move this around like so. It's still ticking, folks. It is still ticking. Oh my God. Alright, that moved. I'm going to screw this up. Yeah, it moved again. The Rodico moved. Everything moved. Let me see if I can do this again. You don't want it too much Rodico on there. I'm going to try to screw the other one in. Sorry, I touched it already and it moved. I think I'll just sing the Alrighty Then song again, because that seemed to work. Alright, that's not working. Oh, the struggles and the trials and tribulations of putting a frickin' screw in. Frickin', frick. Frickin' is not a swear word, I was told. It's I'm just being emotional here. This is the world's longest video, and you can turn it off, okay, if you want. I'll be downloading it, and YouTube's going to call me up and say, did you really need to talk that much during that video? I'm wondering, they've got thousands of staff. Do they sit there and listen to all these videos? Because by now, theoretically, one of them is a watchmaker. Oh, I think I might have got it in the hole. Now, I gotta get nice and close and turn that screw. Ah! Hold my breath. Everything moves all at once. I think my lighting is shitty. Got it. Holy crap. That little bugger's in there. It is so small. It is so small. I can't even tighten it with my smallest screwdriver. Let me see. Where is this thing anyway? It's going to turn it just a bit. There we go. Now it's tight. Did it. Holy jeez. Ricky. So now I've got the face here of the watch. I do want to see if this thing is keeping time, so what I'll do is I take the Rodico and I just rub it down the face of the watch and make sure I don't crack anything, and that usually takes off most of the gum and or vintage, we'll call it vintage material, but really it's just crap. So there's nothing vintage about it, just dirt from 18 something. I also take a stick like this and I'll try to rub some of this stuff to see if it'll come off. But if it doesn't come off, don't play with it, because you're going to ruin this thing here. So just leave it the way it is. Leave it looking vintage. And if you do this, do it lightly. If you push hard, you're going to crack the crystal, because this thing is old. This is ancient. Ancient. These things look like they're at an angle as well. So what I'm going to do is flip this watch around. It's still running. Just saying, okay? I'm just saying. So, partial success. Flip this around and look where that balance is, and make sure that balance is on the outside and I'm not stressing this movement. And I'm going to tighten this up just a little tiny bit without putting too much stress on things. There we go. And I got to put the some of the stuff together here. I'm going to put a dab of oil on the minute wheel here. Just a dab on the outside of the minute wheel. I don't want that stuff. I want the heavier oil, like this. Let me just get in close. And I want that to be right there. There we go. And I don't need to dab oil anything else, I don't believe, because I already put something else on there. So that doesn't need oiling. And then again, you got to clean the oil off with your pith wood, so you don't get pithed off. That's my Donald Duck Elmer Fudd. Look at the teeth, everything seems to be good there. So let me throw that in. There we go. That looks good. I don't know what the heck's going to drive this thing, but anyway, I'm just putting that in because assuming that there's no gears missing on the top here. It's a bold assumption. And then I have the this wheel here, but I got to put my cannon pinion in first. So I'm going to push that down. Now you got to be careful when you push the cannon pinion down, because you can break crap by doing that. So it's not an easy thing to push. What I typically do is I get a stake out from my staking set, and hopefully it's deep enough, and I use that to push the cannon pinion down. So I'm over here with my staking set. Maybe I should pause for a second while I get this stuff out. So I grabbed a stake from the staking set to put on the top here to push the cannon pinion down. So what I have to do is make sure that the gears are lined up, and I'm not going to mesh gears. So I take this here and I look down and look at the gears, and I make sure that I don't want to destroy a gear or in any way. So I just look down and make sure it's close enough, and then take this stake. I think I got too much light in my face. Turn this down a bit and turn this over at an angle. That's good there. That's much better for me. I'm not sure if you guys like it or not, but I'm liking it a lot. So I've got that pressed into place. Let me see, is that working? I hope so. Let me see, and grab a screwdriver here, and yeah, that's in there. And then just make sure that this cannon pinion's all the way down. And I think it is. I don't think it goes any deeper than that. That looks like that's it. And then we put the hour wheel on top, like so. It fits perfectly. And just because I'm that kind of guy, I don't think I'll put any dabadooya there because there's not a lot of friction there at all. But I'm going to put the leaf back in. But I got to give it a bit of an angle. So, because it's pretty old. So I'm just going to squeeze it a little tiny bit, like that. So I just squeezed it to give it a bit of a U shape. And then I'm going to put it back on here. And that just pushes down on the hour wheel when the face is back on. Now you look at the face, and to put the face on, all you have to do is find the pivot for the seconds wheel coming up, and then align that pivot up with the rest of it. So you just do that, and if that's pretty much where it is, this should fall into place. I'm hoping. I think I see something here. Okay, there, it's in place now. Don't interfere with the balance at all. Where is that balance? It's there, and it's still ticking. And I'm going to take both sides here like this and then press down. Make sure the screw is out of the way. Let me just put this here like this, and then I got to get in close again because I think this is not it's not in, it's in the way. So you turn that like this, and that should push on that side, and then you turn this one as well. Let me just go lower so you can see what I'm doing. Like that, and there's a slot, and then you push that in, and you push this in, and then this little jobby do here has a gradual cam on it. So you're camming it. You have to turn. Let me look down on it here. You're turning counterclockwise to lock that in. So you're doing this and turning like so. Let me just make sure that's in all the way. Yeah. I believe you're turning counterclockwise. Actually, I'm wrong. You're turning clockwise. So you turn halfway clockwise. It should work as well on this side. Yeah, there should be a groove in there on this side, so I don't want to force it. And it's all the way in, so I'm going to turn, oh yeah, this case here I had to turn counterclockwise. I thought it was counterclockwise, but so that's in there now. And now if I flip that around, there's the face. Look where my balance is here, and look where the opening is here on the watch, and then put it down like so. Just very carefully, because you do not want to squish anything. No squishing is allowed. And then I'm going to put a little bit of pressure. I look where my movement holder is holding everything, so I do not want to squish a darn thing here, okay? So sometimes you can put this on a nice pad to put it down, but this is not too bad, I guess. So there we go. And I typically pick the hands up when I do this. I don't do it like from this angle, so I think I'm going to move this up a bit and then whatever. Grab the hands here and make sure everything's cool. So first thing I'll do is put in the seconds hand and make sure it's ticking right. Again, I got to make all kinds of excuses because I'm away from the camera here, so turn that around. I normally just grab the darn thing like this, get up close, line it up, put it on, and then just push it in with your there we go. It's ticking. It is ticking. And I get the other hand out here, turn that around. Looks like it's got an opening. These hands have an opening, so it sort of will grab the watch at the right place, and then this goes straight down. So I line that up with 12 o'clock like that. Get out my big fat pusher like this. So I'm going to back this whole camera up and everything, so hang on 1 second while I adjust this. Alright, that's adjusted enough, focused, so I just have to push this down very carefully. I don't want to ruin anything. So just have so that's down, and that's at 0 or 12 o'clock. That's pushed up at 12. And then I have the minute hand here, and I'll pick that up. I'm going to try, when I do this, I usually put it down. I check the distance between the hour hand and the face, and I want to know where my escapement is here. It's down on that side there, so it's over on this side here. So when I put this down, I just don't want to have my fingers near that escapement, because you could actually push the escapement and be in big trouble. So if this is at 12 and you want this at exactly 12, if it's a little bit more, you can always shift the hand over to compensate. So it's pretty easy to do. So in this case it looks like it's at 12, so I'm going to come on in at 12 and see if I can put this down. And if I have to do any further adjustments on this hand, I do. But what you do is you look at the hand like that and go, Is there enough space there? And then I just pushed it, which is probably not what you're supposed to do, but that's fine. So now I got the hand there. So it's on. I'm going to flip this thing around. Oh, stay away from the bounce. Stay away from the bounce. Stay away from the bounce. Still ticking. Doesn't have a really strong amplitude, so I could probably change that mainspring or do something there. But I just want to get this thing together and have a look at it. So in these watches here, there's a little snub-dub there, or whatever it's called, right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up of this thing and just keep talking. So if I look up, let me see if I can zoom in there. There we go. So if I look at this here, there's a small index marker here, or dart. I'll call it a dart because I think they call it darts. And on the case, there's usually the entrance of that dart on the case, so you can line up that dart, so when you put the thing together, it works and you don't have a big dart issue. So I usually look where that dart is when I put the case in. So there's the two holes on the top, like that. So it obviously has to go in like this somehow on the case, right? So it obviously has to go in like this. So where is that dart? Am I going to screw this up? I got to look at it a little closer and see where the dart is. So I'm going to zoom back out again so I can examine this a little closer. It's basically, there's my zoom for examining it. So let me just have a look at this. Where's the dart? Dart's on this side. So we're going to have that dart on the inside of the case. As I snug this in, see, let me look all the way around this case to make sure there's no other further crap in there. So it should be something like this. Then I look at this and it goes all the way around like this. And then there's also a screw on the outside to hold it in the case. So I don't know. Let me see. How's this working? The dart is on the inside. The holes are not lined up, so I have to pull this out just a bit. Let me push this like so, and then rotate it. Just having a look at it here, and then rotating it so that these holes are exactly over where this is. So that's exactly over there. So the question is, the dart is on the inside, I think. Yeah, it is. So this thing should slide right in. So what's touching? What is qu'est-ce que c'est touching the outside de la case? That's my French. I'm going to have a look here, and then actually it might be in. I think that's as far as it goes, actually. Let me have a look on the inside again, because that might be as far as it goes in. That could be it. I need bigger fingernails. These are my guitar fingernails, by the way, but this is not my guitar thumbnail. This thumbnail that I say is largely disgusting sometimes, I use that to open up cases. It's what I do. It's what I do. I'm trying to get my case opener out of this little friggin' thing I have here, but alright, I'm going to get my $9 billion case opener. I'm reaching over to get it right now, so stand by. Alright, I'm back. Okay, this is my $9 gajillion case opener. Here it is here. That is a Bergeron 6987. So this is what this thing looks like. So this, you could go into combat with this thing. Look at that. My God, that is a case opener and a half. There it is there. So no case has ever won against this case opener. None. Just saying. Just saying. So if I take this case opener and I put it right in here, like so, look at that. Took like 2 seconds. So there it is there. Now, is that in far enough? That's the question. It doesn't look like it is. It looks like it needs to go up a bit more, but I'm not sure how to get it up a bit more. Maybe that dart has to go to the next level. What do you think? Do you think? Because it doesn't look... The other thing is maybe the whole thing has to come in from the other side. But this would be like this. So I need to do some thinking. I'll be right back. You shouldn't have to watch this. It's very painful. So just hang on. I'm going to pause it and be right back. Alright, I'm a total idiot. I think when you're talking again on video, you just don't pay attention to crap. So I forgot there's another door on the front. Oh my God. So now I can line this up again. There's a dart here and there's a dart here. So I just put those darts. I gotta get my little lens out of the way so I can do this. But I just put those darts on the inside like so. And then just make sure they're on the inside like that. And then I just have to twist this movement so that these 12 o'clock is on the top, and that's sort of like that, and so that's snug nicely in there, and that's as far up as it can go. And then I need to, there's a screw. You see how much focus is this? Not too bad there. There's a screw right on the inside right here, and you just have to turn that. And after I push up on this movement a bit, just make sure that it's up there snug. I still think I need to get it in there. Check out where the balance is. Fumble. Man. So what I really should be doing is doing this without showing you, and then showing you how wonderfully easy it went in. And then you tell me I'm full of crap, because these things don't go in nice and easily. So they just don't. I don't know why, but they don't. They tend to fight. There's a groove right there, and there's a groove right here. That's where the grooves are for the darts. Maybe I got to put the other side in and then slide the dart past the groove. I just need to look at this closer though. So let me see, what's the top part here? It's right on the edge. So that's the top there. And then again, if I look for those grooves, there's a groove way the heck over here. Oh, that's where that dart is there. But is there another groove there? It doesn't look like it. So it looks like you got to tuck this dart in first, like that. And then this one has to be 100% aligned here, because it has to go through here like that. So these two things have to go in like this, and then the case, the watch goes. Don't force anything, because it'll break it. Alright, I gotta come back. I'm gonna play with this for like friggin' 20 hours. Alright, I tucked it in. So the trick to do that was actually to flip it around this way. This was up like this, and I took a screwdriver and just put it in there and twisted it just a little tiny bit, and it snugged it in nicely. So there it is. I don't have a crystal for it yet, so I think I need to do that. Plus the back, if I look at the back, the hinge is broken on it because it's a beast. It's an old beast. I'm curious whether this will just close like so, or whether that's another issue. So I have to basically, where's the center of this camera? Up, down, left, right. There we go. So it's like this. I think it's kind of like this, but it's broken all the crap. So I have to do some work on the case on the back, because I don't believe it's going to snap shut for me. because it's kind of screwed up. Well, there we go. Nope, that didn't work. Thought it worked. Anyway, I got to figure out how to close this case. The crystal, there's the crystal, it was cracked earlier, so it's kind of crappy. And there's both sides of it like that. But the good news is, I'll just put this down here like this, and I'll get out my mega case opener, the case opener from hell, and I'm gonna open this case up right here like so. And the good news is the thing runs and just keeps going, so it's not too bad. I was a little bit out of focus there for a few minutes, but anyway, that's the watch. That's I don't even know the brand of this thing. I'm going to see if I can regulate it and get it running relatively on time. If it can't be regulated, that's a whole other issue, but I'm going to see if I can do that. Maybe put a couple more winds on the old mainspring, see what happens there, and see if I can get her running really well from an amplitude perspective. And let me just turn that key again. What time is it right now? It's 12:41. So if I turn this, I'm hoping that it actually gives me 12:41. There we go. 12:41 is right there. That seemed pretty loose. I guess it was loose. Now the question is, will it keep time for me? I have to press this down a bit more because it did seem pretty freaking loose. So it's the world's loosest cannon pinion. Anyway, so that's it. It was fun. Again, I showed you how this works. And that's actually fully wound. I just wound it to the end and fully wound, and this little bugger is, look at that, fingernail worked, is still running. Da, 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 da. Anyway, that's the video. Talked enough. There's the watch. At some point in time I'll get another crystal for it. This thing is glass. I just cracked it again. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. I promised I'd make this video. So watch works, fixed, good to go.